And here we go. Today's Zaleski Sports Show. We made it to March. March Madness.
Shamrocks.
And the Irish eyes are smiling upon you. Is that how that goes?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Here at Skeeter Notices Village Inn in Hewitt, it's Lasagna Day. Come on down and get lasagna here at Skeeter Notices. Dan has been looking forward to this for a long time.
Like a year.
I've been eating lasagna here since I was about 15. So, I mean, without exaggerating, it's about 15, and it's still as amazing as it was in 1992 or whatever that was.
Is this like when I turned 21? Wow. Okay. All right. This is not what I ordered, but that's fine. Okay.
More on that later.
Yeah. Is this like when I turned 21 and I went into the bar that I've been going to for like 3-4 years already?
And you get lasagna.
And to get lasagna.
Yep, it's happening tonight, and you can make it happen too. Skeeter Notices Village Inn of Hewitt. Let's see, Dan, we got a lot to catch up on here today.
Yes.
We're going to go through some state results today. We've got another big broadcast schedule coming up, and we'll probably fit in some more stuff that you don't know.
Yeah. It's all yours, and it's all now.
And we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back. That's how that works. Okay, well, let's go through some stuff. Before I get to the state results, Dan, it's somewhat topical. We had, if you're politically inclined, we had Super Tuesday yesterday in this country. People went in 12 different states. Not this one.
No.
But they went in 12 different states in various places, and they voted for various things, and we hope they all got everything that they wanted. Remember Napoleon Dynamite, all right? I'll make all your wildest dreams come true.
Yep,
That was
yep.
Pedro's promise to the voters.
Vote for Pedro.
Vote for Pedro. That's probably what it was yesterday, but we didn't vote here, so I don't know what's going on. But they had 12 states voting yesterday for various things, including making your wildest dreams come true. We had Super Saturday here at Zaleski Sports.
It was a busy day.
Look at, they had 12 states, the politicians. We had 15 games on Saturday. It was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've ever done 15 games before in a day.
And all of them got a trophy at the end, all 15.
That's right, yeah. I mean, they got a wooden plaque. Trophy, yeah.
You know, hold it up like this and
a lot
parade
of
around.
pictures, a lot of pictures, a lot
photos.
of tears on both sides.
Every mom and dad and interested party took somebody's picture that day.
You know what? There was some net cutting.
They were cutting nets in some of those places.
Yeah.
I heard of a few, I won't name any names, but you know, a road team here or there, and not even in the 15 these are, I don't think were even, maybe one was, but they were the road team or they were at a neutral location. They went back, bus took them back to their home gym, and they cut down their own net when they got there because they weren't allowed to cut the net wherever they were.
At sectionals?
Or something.
Regionals?
Yeah, various.
I mean, sectionals, you got to cut the net. That's a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Various, there were just a couple. I found that to be an interesting type story. So 15, and this is what we were concerned about, though. You and I a couple of weeks ago, because along the way we'd lose some friends.
Yeah,
and we've lost a lot of friends along the way. In girls basketball, we started with 400 some teams. We're down to 20. So we've lost nearly 400 friends.
That's true.
Since the beginning of the season, and we're going to lose a few more starting tomorrow. Girls State at the Resch Center for basketball starts tomorrow.
And no local teams down there.
Yeah, I mean, we cover a pretty wide swath. And we lost those friends. The last ones we had, we lost on Saturday.
Yeah.
On the girls' side.
I mean, any loss is heartball at sectionals.
Yeah, couple. And, you know, Assumption of Wisconsin Rapids was one of those. Had Albany Monticello scored the game's final 2 points with 6 seconds left. And Royals not able to get a shot off on a couple possessions after that. And so we lost our friends in Wisconsin Rapids, too.
Yeah. Neilsville.
Lost our friends in
Also
Neilsville.
got knocked off.
Mm-hmm. Not as close at all, really.
No. Pittsville.
Yeah. Not as close at all, really.
Yeah.
I was at. I actually did both of them.
Yeah. I heard you got ice cream in Anago.
Okay, story time. Is that
Yeah,
okay? Then we're going to go
yeah.
to some other results because we've got some other things to talk about today.
I never get things when I go places.
I don't know how this happened. I still really am. Well, I guess I know the logistics of what happened now that I was told, but in the moment, I had no idea what was going on.
Okay.
All I know is that I had read a commercial for a creamery, an ice cream palace, likely, in Pittsville.
Oh.
And somebody in the chat had mentioned an ice cream place in Lena, who was the opponent that day. And I thought, oh, well, that's nice, but not a sponsor. So,
Yeah.
But if you're in Lena, go to that ice cream place. And I just mentioned, I think, I didn't have to even go back and listen because
Yeah.
I don't really know. Boy, ice cream sounds good. Something like that. Should have never said those words. Because a fellow named Marty was watching. And I mean, there were your games, everybody's game. There were
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of people watching our Super Saturday 15 games. And I uttered those words apparently. And about 20 minutes later, two girls, high school age girls, off to my right, we're in the balcony, we're in a secure area in Anago. They take very good care of us in Anago.
Good.
We're in a secure area, so we can't be, stalked upon or trampled on or just runneth over in any way, shape, or form. But these two girls come up, and that caught my attention because we're in the secure area. And they're kind of staring at us, which is not all that unusual, I guess, these days. But
I mean, you are a local celebrity.
with intent, though, they kept looking. And so during the next commercial, I looked over,
You notice it for sure.
and I'm like, "Are you, did the Will Ferrell
Yeah.
rock Night of the Roxbury? Yeah, you, me, you, me." And sure enough, they're like, "Yeah." And so they came over with this grocery bag, and they gave it to me. And I look inside, and it's a quart of ice cream and 2 plastic spoons. And I'm like, I thought about this ice cream place. So my first thought is ice cream somehow got to us in 20 minutes from an hour and a half away in Lena.
Doesn't make sense.
That didn't make any sense. But I'm in the middle of calling a game. So I'm like, "Thank you, girls." And they walked away. And I'm like, I'm not sure what's happening here. And I said to Rachel, who's producing for me, we just got delivered a quart of ice cream. And she's like, and I don't know, it was a tough thing to understand just in the moment. 10 minutes later, here comes a woman now with 2 chocolate malts, giving them to us. Like, what is happening here? So the ice cream's tough to eat on air. Spoon, and it's frozen, and it's a plastic spoon, it'll probably snap in half or something. But the malts, and a straw, and during commercials, I mean, they tasted good, and it did hit the spot.
I mean,
really
you could
did.
do it during the game too.
I did. Well, a little. Yeah, a little. Because at that point, it was 15, 18 points. It's starting to get away from Pittsville. There was a game going on. There was a lady in the chat that got upset. I was talking about the ice cream, and I told her to shut her mouth. And 15 minutes later, here comes 2 more people with a full sausage pizza and 2 cans of Pepsi. What is going on here? Well, come to find out that Marty employed a local establishment in Anago and DoorDash and maybe something else to shower us with food during the second half of this basketball game. Marty, from places unknown, from watching in the internet world somewhere.
Is he from Lena or Pittsville?
I don't know.
Maybe nowhere. Maybe he just wanted you to have food.
Not sure, but it just kept coming and coming and coming.
Like a dream come true.
Well, kind of. So we took care of the chocolate malts, and the ice cream never had a chance because it just wasn't the right time or place for that. We're very appreciative of it. And then after the game was done, we each ate a slice of pizza, and then we went down on the floor where all the Lena kids were celebrating, including the student section. In both Pittsville's and Lena student sections were amazing. They were really some of the best we've seen all year, but Lena happened to be the winner that day. So we gave the 6 slices of sausage pizza and the quart of ice cream to the boys that were in the student section, and they went bonkers with it.
Speaking of the Pittsville...
It got to a correct end.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Usually I don't have enough time to even go to the concession stand to get a bag of chips
There
or
isn't.
something at halftime.
No.
Right? Because you got to wait in line with everybody else.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Yeah, and you only have 6 minutes or something. Not even.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. But usually whenever the two of us talk about food, we end up getting it. So, yeah. I don't
And we're
know
just
the reason
messing
why.
around. I mean, it's, but I guess some things work out.
Speaking of the Pittsville student section,
Okay.
I have a question for you.
All right.
Were you on court storming? Because there was an incident
Yeah, I
Thursday
saw
night.
it. I saw it in Merrill.
Now, that's not the Pittsville students' fault, right?
Well, it was a tightly
Sort of.
contested game. It was a comeback by their
Yep.
Panthers girls, the Lady Panthers, big comeback. It was a dramatic end.
The AED wasn't over there.
Yeah.
And I could see the kids coming down the bleachers, like stomping down one by one like
Cascading.
a wave.
Yeah.
And there was a line on the floor. So if you think about the sideline,
Yeah.
there's another line, another 3-4 feet beyond that.
Yeah.
And the students were lined up, like their feet were right on that line.
Yeah. Like the Romans ready to invade,
Yeah.
whatever.
And Pittsville's playing Athens.
Turkmenistan.
Yeah, back and forth game. Athens played really well. Pittsville just got hot at the end. And
Yeah.
the Pittsville students are right across from their bench, right, as the
Yep.
fans usually are.
Yep.
And the final horn sounds, Pittsville wins, and one of the Athens girls
Yeah.
like collapses to the ground on her knees because her season's over.
Sadness and despair. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe her career is over. And
I
then
don't know
here
who it
come the
was, yeah.
students, and they're running over her,
Yeah.
like they're tripping
Yeah, I
over
saw
her,
it, yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
a scary situation. I love court stormings, I
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
but we have to be safe about that.
So right, and that's why I have some mixed emotions about it. I'm all for students being involved because I don't think enough are
Yeah,
in this current state of current situation that we're in, whatever that is. So I don't think there's enough student involvement and helping to support their classmates. So I'm all for that. Pretty unique set of circumstances there. If the Athens girl is on this side of the floor when the game ends instead of that side, it's not a problem. And fortunately, one of the Pittsville girls that were on the floor just finished the game. One of the 5 on the floor went down to help whoever it was,
Yeah.
and then so good sportsmanship.
It was.
The kids just wanted to come and celebrate with their classmates. I'm okay with all that.
And talking to the coach afterwards, it's their first sectional game in 14 years, and
Yeah.
the first sectional win since 2007 or 4 or
Yeah.
something.
Comeback win.
just a really long time.
Yeah, you made the trip all the way to Merrill. You want to release some energy.
Yeah. And those kids were good all night. Like they were loud and
Yeah.
they were jumping around.
Yeah,
and-
and they were on Saturday too, up until it was kind of curtains with about 10 minutes left or so.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Good there. All right, let's talk about some results.
I'm excited about this.
I'm nervous about it. So, some state results from recent days. We'll start with team gymnastics. We have a champion to announce in Division II, Elkhorn, the state champion in team gymnastics.
What's their team name?
Elkhorn,
What's their mascot?
Elks.
Liar.
In Division I, Franklin Muskego. There's a lot of co-ops in the gymnastics.
Yeah,
but
like
Franklin
Division-
Muskego team champ. Congratulations.
Division I co-ops? Come on.
There are.
That's 2 big Division I schools.
Yeah, I was recently in Germantown, just as an aside to that. But we were talking with the athletic director there in Germantown, and they co-opt. They co-opt with Menominee Falls. I mean, two really big schools co-opting for gymnastics. So I don't know much about the sport. The Olympics are coming up with gymnastics, so people are getting excited about it now. And that's I get excited when the Olympics come around.
It's a fun sport.
I've been to state gymnastics before, and it's
long
really
day.
interesting, and it is a really long day.
long day.
It is really interesting. Let's see here. Wrestling. We'll go through team state in wrestling.
We had some local teams in the bracket.
Yeah, Division II, Fenimore and Coleman, or Division III, sorry, Fenimore over Coleman, 46-16.
Coleman's always there. Always.
To wrestling people, these names sound very familiar
Yes.
because it's the same over and over and over for the most part. In Division II, it was Lux Casco, 36-19 over St. Croix Falls. Very common wrestling. Maybe one uncommon in it happened in Division I. Kaukauna team finished the season 20-0, undefeated.
Galloping Ghosts.
The Galloping Ghosts. 36-27 winners over Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln, who is a very common name in state wrestling. So those are state results.
Did Stratford make the bracket this year?
I didn't see him at state.
Okay.
Yeah. So one name maybe missing from the whole equation.
Yeah, I mean you have to win the entire sectional, right? So like it's not that easy to do because it's the individual results, team scored. Mm-hmm. It's like track and field. Like
It's a lot.
Like nobody really knows.
Yeah. You got a pocket full of stones, and you 1 point, and you put the stone out there, and you count them up afterwards.
It's true.
In girls state hockey, no surprise here. DC Everest, who's won about 100 of these state hockey championships, has won another as they beat De Pere 4-3 in girls state hockey.
Somebody had the golden goal. They was overtime. I think they scored the goal to win.
Sounds right.
Like that. And funny story about that.
Okay.
Chad Holmes, friend of the show.
Yeah, I think so. Hope so.
He was doing the radio broadcast of the DC Everest Co-op, but the Wisconsin something. And he had the marathon game on the radio where I was. And he pulled in with 3 minutes to go. And he said, I was going 20 over the speed limit the whole way. Because the Madison, or wherever they're at, I think it's Madison, or wherever state hockey is, he had to go quite a ways to get here. And I'm like, Chad, you could have, like, texted me or something. I would have gotten things ready for you. He's like, no, I got it. I mean, he's panting on the air. And everything was already there from the night before.
Yeah,
but
fortunately.
Poor Chad had quite the trip.
He was in Middleton at the Bruce Sutter Arena in Middleton. That's a long ways from there to Marathon.
Yeah.
Still a long ways.
Yeah.
Most of it interstate, but still a long ways.
Yep.
Let's see here. Let's talk about boys hockey. And in Division 2, St. Mary Springs over New Richmond 6-2.
Upset, I think.
You think so? Yeah, I mean, it was the 2 and the 1, so okay. Technically an upset.
Yeah, but the Big Rivers champion usually takes care of business, especially Division 2.
Good point. Well, and in Division 1, we did have an upset in the semifinals, Brookfield East over the number 1 seed Chippewa Falls.
Yeah.
What do we have here? 6-5. Thrilling game for Brookfield, but Brookfield did fall in the championship. Notre Dame 3-1 winners in Division 1 boys hockey.
Little Dame, good athletic school. Usually, if you have academy in your name, like it's pretty good.
Yeah, you get a little specialized.
Or like Marquette University. Like we're playing high school. Why do you call yourselves Marquette
University High School? Yeah. Well, it's got a little panache to it, a little fanciness. I got a map, Dan. I know how everybody loves the maps around here.
I like this. I'm ready for this.
Everybody loves the maps. Well, we're going to bring the map up. Been a while since I drew a map.
This must be girls basketball.
But there it is. Those are those are the 20 girls basketball teams. It's a map. You can comment on it if you want. I put it together as a matter of fact because I've become an expert cartographer over the last year and a half or so. But there's I mean, obviously, this is 1 year, right? If we looked at last year, the dots are in a different place, and the year before, and the year before. This year, though, we're playing along the edges. The 20 teams are along the edges.
Yeah, and it makes sense, sort of, right? Because they try to put the sectionals in the 4 different corners of the state. Yeah. Now, the teams in the middle usually go to the different corners.
Yeah, these are the towns that are represented at state.
Yeah.
So obviously a big hole in the middle of the state.
4 northeast and some, but generally there are some in the middle, though.
Yeah, that's missing this year.
It is missing.
Yeah. And again, years past, I'm sure that it looks different. This is what it is here.
I have a fantastic factoid for you in the Mirwood Minute.
Okay, all right.
Tonight.
We eagerly await it. Coming up in about 30 minutes' time. So Division 5, Argyle Pecatonica is the 1 seed. Let's see if I go through these here in the best way I can.
They're good this year.
Yeah. Lena, the 2 seed. I just saw Lena on Saturday. Pretty good team. Clear Lake is the 3. Albany Monticello is the 4. We had 3 of those 4 on the network on Saturday.
Yeah, Clear Lake Lena, a really good game, I think. Actually, I think that all the games are going to be good. Albany was there last year and got blown out by the Max.
Yeah, and Zaleski Sports VIPs know when they looked at the rankings in Division 5, all 4 of those are very close together.
Yeah.
Yeah, all very well represented there. And I guess when you put those scores in the brackets, you probably would have come out with that.
And if Assumption would have won, they would have been the 1 seed.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. They would have just edged out Argyle Pecatonica then for that 1. Okay, well, not the case, not this year. Good luck next year, Royals. Division 4, number 1 is Laconia, no surprise there. Number 2, McDonald Catholic. Number 3, Cuba City. And the 4 seeds, the Prairie School. Everybody looking forward to Laconia and McDonald on Saturday. I mean, it's a
probably.
fact. It's a fact.
Cuba City's pretty good, but McDonald's better, I think.
Well, they play on tomorrow, so we get to see Cuba City and McDonald tomorrow evening.
Yeah, and McDonald won Division 5 last year. So
True.
And they have been to state several times in a row now. Yep. So they are used to playing on that floor, as is Laconia. But yeah, that would be a good Saturday game.
McDonald not defending champs, they are returning champs. That's
True.
a slight difference, but it is the fact of this matter.
And if they do win this year, they don't move up another division. They're Division 4 no matter what.
Right. Very true. In Division 3, Edgewood is the 1, Kettle Moraine the 2, Xavier the 3, Baldwin Woodville the 4. Didn't see a lot of those teams on the network this year.
Xavier's always good, right? They're in Wapaka's conference, I believe.
Yep, always in the mix, it seems like. Division 2, Pewaukee the 1, Notre Dame the 2, Wauwatosa East the 3, and West Salem is the 4.
That's going to be a great Saturday game also.
Notre Dame, Pewaukee.
Yep.
There you go.
Milwaukee beat them this year.
They did play just a couple weeks ago, didn't they?
I thought it was the first game of the year, but maybe not.
Oh, time flies. In Division 1, number 1 is Arrowhead, number 2 Hartford, number 3 Nina, and number 4 is Franklin. There you go.
I saw a certain someone on West Sports pick Nina to win state. I'm not saying you. I think Norbert picked him this weekend in one of his.
Oh, this weekend.
Today.
I thought I picked him originally.
Yeah, you might have.
Yeah, I thought so.
But Norbert made his state picks based off the 4 teams.
So a redo, because he also made the same picks I did a couple weeks ago.
It's a really good article. He goes team by team, matchup by matchup, and
fair enough.
Gives his predictions.
Alrighty.
Check it out.
So there you go. Those are the 20 girls basketball teams that are left, as we had to say goodbye to 400 friends from a couple weeks ago that we were with for most of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's unusual to not have a local team in Green Bay.
Yeah, that's why I said the map. I mean, it's the state of the union right now. Not always.
You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say Assumption's there next year.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's not too thin of a limb.
Go out on a limb. They're all seniors next year.
Yeah, right. I think that limb is pretty sturdy. Yeah. Pretty sturdy. Okay, so that's what we have to look forward to. State girls basketball starts tomorrow. Semifinal games Thursday evening, and then all day on Friday. And then championships are crowned beginning at 11:05 a.m. on Saturday. Check your local ABC station for listings.
I'll tell you what I don't miss is playing in that 9:05 Friday morning game. It's rough because you're not used to playing at 9 o'clock in the morning.
It's very early. Not since you were in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
At the your city elementary school jamboree.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
It's a surreal experience. You go in at 9 o'clock. It's a huge stadium. Nobody's there, right? For that 1-4 Division 5 game. Mm-hmm. You do the best you can, but like you could tell that nothing is normal about that game.
No.
Nothing.
No, including the 6 a.m. wake-up call.
True.
Okay, so I mentioned the 15 games we had on the network, Super Saturday for us, as we beat all the politicians on Saturday. Tomorrow, we move into boys basketball sectional semifinals. Boys basketball teams are 2 games
I'm
from
excited.
Punching their ticket to the 2024
So many good games tomorrow.
state tournament. There are. Let's go through them. What do you say? I'll go through them first, and then we can talk about them a little bit. There's 7. I looked on you can go to wiwi.org. You click on media, and then you click on WebStream Central or something like that, and it shows all the games online.
Yeah, you can also just go to the scores page, and on the right side.
Is that better on that page? Just go to scores?
And on the right side, you can just go to the game, hit stream.
All right. There's 17 games that are being shown tomorrow. We've got 7 of the 17.
Okay. I thought we had 17. I was like,
no.
Holy man.
But my question is, there's way more than 17 games. Why isn't anybody else lifting their weight around here? We're doing 7. What are you all doing out there? Bunch of lazy bums.
Yeah,
what happened?
Doesn't make sense.
What happened? I don't know. There's way more than that. I mean, how many are there? 8. There's 40 games tomorrow?
There's 40 games tomorrow.
40. And only 17 you get to watch online. So get to your local gym. I guess that's the obvious solution.
Yeah, and also, you know what's a bummer, honestly, is you want to check a score of a game, and you have to go through the paywall of the NFHS. And we're spoiled.
To maybe see a score.
Yeah. Yeah, so
sometimes not.
So you could pay $10,
yeah,
right,
to
get a picture of a scoreboard that says home and away, and you have no idea which team.
Because these are at neutral sites. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can even make out the numbers on the scoreboard, which is a problem sometimes.
You really can't. I was trying to watch the Lena Wabino game. I had no idea what was going on. Yeah. Yeah, I had no idea who was winning, who was losing. I was trying to listen to people in the chat in my game, which is dangerous, right?
Yeah.
You're trusting strangers on the internet.
Yeah, and they've been wrong.
Wrong all the time.
Yeah. Let's see. A couple comments online. Prentice is looking for the final countdown. That is a copyright situation. So, yeah. Well, and I know they want to hear about our Thursday games, but YouTube will always tell us when there's been a copyright type situation. That's what they're famous for, telling us anyway. Saturday in Wisconsin Dells, two girls, I believe from Cuba City, sang a beautiful Star Spangled Banner. It was really good. YouTube put a copyright on it because of a stolen melody. Are you kidding me? That's our national anthem. There's not a common. We can't. Everybody can't just join with the melody. We can't just have it.
Yeah.
How is that?
Yeah, that should be just public domain. It's a national anthem.
They told us that there was some copyright issue with the melody.
So before you get into the
and then Prentice also wants to yap about Garfield and lasagna. Okay, that's nice.
It's true.
All right.
So the two of us, everybody at Zaleski Sports, and parents and everybody who attend a lot of games, we see a lot of anthems, right? And
hundreds every year.
Yeah, hundreds every year. Yeah. And a lot of times it's the band, and you get good and bad, right? Depending on what gym
varying degrees. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But they bring out the best this time of year, and it's usually girls or like boys and girls from the schools that come down and sing a cappella. And I'm like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. There have been, over the last week that I've noticed, has been just unbelievably good.
Well,
and like,
very happy for that.
Like you have the band playing the national anthem, you just kind of go through it, but then you have people actually singing it, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
The Athens-Pittsville game, I think 2 Pittsville girls sang it, and it was probably the highlight of the year. It was probably the best one.
If you're from Pittsville, are you a Pittsvillian?
Maybe. You're just a Panther.
You're just a Panther?
Just a Panther.
The other thing, I have to note this, Dan, because we talk about this sometimes on this show. In Wisconsin Dells, how they treated the media was second to none. It was just fantastic. It ranks right up there. Ranks right up there with Kaukauna, Mosney, and others like that.
Apparently Anago.
Anago treated us very well, thank you. Wisconsin Dells, the athletic director greeted us at the door, took us to our location, and then following that, the IT person from the school was standing next to us, asking if he could be of any assistance. I'm going to be here. Here's my name. Here's my phone number if you can't find me. An amazing experience at Wisconsin Dells High School. Way to go.
That's a good
Chiefs.
AD.
Way to go, Chiefs.
That is a good AD.
Just a great athletic department. I mean, having the IT person there. Think of all the times we could have used that over the years.
We don't even have internet sometimes. How many? I mean, we were getting into spring sports. Yeah. Internet's
it's
iffy sometimes.
This is danger zone coming up in a couple of weeks for that. Okay, Thursday games. Here we go. It's Kaukauna and Marshfield in Wapaka. I'll go through them here real quick, and then we can talk about them. Neenah in Spash at Appleton East. River Falls and Wausau East are at Eau Claire North. Auburndale and Marathon are in Merrill. Three Lakes and Almond Bancroft are in D.C. Everest. Royal and Columbus Catholic are at Adams Friendship. And Milwaukee Academy of Science and St. Thomas More are at Oak Creek. Those are the 7 games. So back to the top, Kaukauna and Marshfield, a game I'm calling on Thursday, but this is one that's kind of appeared to us when the brackets came out.
Yeah.
5-seed Kaukauna, 1-seed Marshfield.
Not surprising that those are the 2 teams. Unfortunately for Eau Claire Memorial,
who was the 4-seed.
Who was the 4-seed. They lost the 4-13 game.
Yeah, they had some injuries they were dealing with, and we're not the same team as what they were during the season.
True.
But congrats Appleton East in that game.
But we kind of saw Kaukauna making it 2 sectionals in that group of 4 teams, right?
Yep.
So not a surprise. Marshfield's going to be tested. Kaukauna is a good team. Really good.
Got a pair of 6'10" guys that fly up and down the floor. Division I recruits. They've got a good shooter. This is Marshfield's, biggest test since Neenah. When Neenah came to Marshfield back around the 1st of December and blew out Marshfield that day.
Yeah, Marshfield's going to have to slow the game down like they like to do. Limit possessions, get some turnovers, and just grind it out. It's a grinded out game for the Tigers. Yeah,
and Coach Chris Fisher prides himself and his team on defense, and it's going to have to show up on Thursday.
Yeah.
Seems like. Kaukauna likes to score some points.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Again, game in Wapaka. Follow me over there. Nina and Spash, as I said, at Appleton East. This is a rematch from earlier in the year. Spash Panthers beat the Nina Rockets. I'll let you talk. I'll look that. Actually, it's right here. 55-47 back on November 28th, just after Thanksgiving.
A little bit
but it was an
different
8-point win for Stevens Point nonetheless.
Yeah, a little bit different. Spash has won a couple of games to get where they're at, as have Nina. I feel like Spash peaked already, right? And they're trying to keep it at that level.
There's a chance of that.
Yeah, trying to keep it that level. Nina's a really good team.
I don't think Nina has peaked. They dealt with injuries early in the season. Those two are back, and they're performing at a pretty high level. Because of those injuries and some of the losses they had earlier in the season, they are the 6th seed in that game. Spash Panthers are the 2, but I can tell you that the Spash Panthers, some members of the basketball team were in Stevens Point, obviously, earlier today, eating some sandwiches for lunch. Ran into a few guys on the team. Yeah, so good luck, guys.
Very
I said
nice.
that to them earlier today.
It's been a long time since we had the possibility of, one, a Valley team going to state, right? But imagine
2017.
Spash.
Yeah.
Yeah. But imagine having 2 Valley teams play to go to state. I don't know if that's happened.
That would be, and that would be a third time. If Marshfield and Spash win on Thursday, they would get their 3rd game this year. And they've both been really good games.
Yeah, and I mean, the Fox schools came into the tournament. They felt like they were jaded a little bit, right? Even though Nina and Kakana both lost to, or did Nina lose to Spash or Spash beat them? I think
Nina lost to Spash by 8. Yep.
Yeah. So they felt a little bit jaded. They thought they were underseeded, but you know what? You win the games in front of you. Everybody kind of beat up on the big rivers this year. Little surprise.
A little bit.
I think that those are 2 really good games, like close to 50-50 games. Neutral site, they're both going to be really good.
Just zipping through Kakana's schedule here. I'm on the website, zaleskisports.com. They beat their first Valley team in a regional semifinal, which was Wausau West, who didn't have a very good year, and they beat them 87-29. So if you're looking to draw some similar scores, not until that game, but that's a tough one there. For that. Speaking of more Valley teams, or Wisconsin Valley teams and Big Rivers schools, in Division II, it's River Falls and Wausau East, another game we saw. Okay, let's see what that looks pretty good. Thank you, Dan. Okay. Told our audio had went away there, so.
Hey,
Yeah,
and we're
TV
back. And we're back.
Live TV is always a trick, for sure. So we were just, if that's just happened, River Falls at Wausau East on Thursday, over at Eau Claire North, a close game. River Falls has all kinds of tools. They got all kinds of things. Eli Johnson, they're big, just signed to play tight end for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Nice.
Today or yesterday. Today signing day, Wednesday, yeah. Or commitment day, whatever it is. So there are some interesting things that'll happen in that game. I don't know who's going to win though. Still
Yeah.
don't. Every time I count out the Jacks, they win. So,
Yeah, and like I said, Wausau East has been surviving, right?
yep.
Battle tested.
Indeed, they are. We'll see what happens there. Clear all my messages coming in that says no audio, no audio, no audio. Okay, well, we're back now. And then a game that you're calling, and a game you've seen before this year, is Auburndale and Marathon. That game at Merrill. Marathon has had their way with Auburndale this year, but that means nothing come sectional time.
It doesn't, and Marathon's got some ghosts to slay because Auburndale has won sectionals against them last couple
times.
Yeah, and Marathon's won the first two games by 21 points apiece.
Pretty solid.
Feel like they have the seniors. Auburndale has seniors also, but everything is in the basket for Marathon here, and I guarantee you, Coach Weinfurter has something planned, right? And when I go back to, they played 2 weeks ago, I think, and in the middle of that second half, Auburndale went to kind of a matchup, like a matchup 2-3 or a 1-3-1 or something a little bit weird.
Coach Weinfurter, right? Just whipping up the potion in there.
Yeah, and they've obviously practiced it, and they showed it, and Marathon couldn't score against it. They were confused. Now,
that was the game at Marathon.
it was a
right?
game at Marathon, and so the two games have been really similar. Marathon jumps out to a lead. Auburndale makes a run, like a 20-point lead. Auburndale makes a run, gets it down to 8, 9, 10, and then Marathon pulls away at the end. But Auburndale got back into that game using this kind of like weird matchup zone thing. Should Weinfurter have shown that? I don't know, right? But it's on film now, so, and I'm sure that Coach Jacobson has looked at that pretty closely.
No doubt he has, and I'll tell you right now, though, and Coach Jacobson knows this, Coach Weinfurter also has something else new coming
Absolutely.
Tomorrow evening.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
just when you think you've got the Eagles figured out, they're going to come with something else.
Yeah, I do know that Coach Weinfurter is not going to play man defense because Grant scored 43 against man defense 2 weeks ago.
The Garantula, and you had some good fun with the Garantula on Saturday. Dog.
Yeah, and that's the thing,
On
right?
Instagram, go look on Instagram and find out about the dog.
Yeah, that's the thing is I talk to Grant and I say, hey, I want to interview you. Bring whoever you want. And he brought the 3 kids that played the least amount on the team, right?
Yeah.
And
Team player, team guy.
yeah, and he's a leader of the team. He said a couple of things and he left.
Yeah.
The other 3 kids there.
Yeah. Well, he might have said the most profound things. Dog.
It's true.
Dog.
He's a dog. Ian, he's a dog.
It's on Instagram, and it's a classic.
Yeah,
it's a
good.
real classic, and we will miss Mr. Warren after baseball season.
Yeah.
But hopefully, for people that care for the Marathon Red Raiders, there's a few more games coming. But the Eagles conference mates version 3.0. Who in the world knows what's going to happen in that one either. All right, in Division 5, the game is at DC Everest. It's Allman Bancroft and Three Lakes. The Eagles have been on a run all year. CWC South champs.
They're really good.
Yeah, they got a big that dominates. Coach Lamb is a legend in the area. A lot of things. Here's something interesting, Dan, about Three Lakes. Finishing the regular season, they lost 3 of their last 4. Now, obviously, they're in the sectionals, so they had a bye. They won 2 games. Into the sectionals that they go, but I don't know about the games per se, but I do
And not
know,
a real strong conference either.
Yeah, I do know that they happened. They got beat by your T-Birds, and then they got beat by the Hodags. But they're coming now. They're coming.
Yeah, a little surprised that they got past Pacelli. I know that it was a 2-3 game, right? So really good game. It was at Three Lakes, I believe. But I was surprised. I thought Pacelli was going to get their third shot at Almond. And we talked about that on the coaches show.
They wanted that bad too, Pacelli did.
Yeah.
And it was at 3 Lakes, you're right.
Yeah. And talking to Pacelli coach.
Yep, John Shirk.
Shirk, yep, Coach Shirk. He said that the boys are excited to play him a third time. And if you know Coach Shirk, like that's what Coach Shirk would say is we're going to be there. They just lost by a couple points.
Yep, they sure did. So Jack Weber on the call over at DC Everest.
3 Lakes girls basketball, 2021 public school champs.
I was there. They held up the trophy. They held up the trophy. They were very excited about being the public school champions. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought we did away with that in 1999. But perhaps in 3 Lakes, they're still living like it's 1999. Some of us partied like it was 99. They're still living in 99. I don't. That's because that's what he said.
I know.
You can only be stuck in 99 if you think there's a public school champion division, because there isn't. Royal and Columbus Catholic at Adams Friendship. Cale Jacoby is on the call.
Columbus is rolling.
They really are. And this was a game that you could see coming from a mile away as well. I'm being told, Dan, that the Royal, I believe Panthers, if I have this right, Panthers. I'm being told the Royal Panthers are also very good. So we could get something there.
I hope so.
We could get something. I'm sure Coach Konishny, Columbus Catholic boys basketball coach, would like a little more maybe of a game than what he's got last week. In the 3 last week?
Yeah.
Of course he wants to win, so at this point I guess you don't care if you win by 50, which they have been. But I'm told the Panthers are very good, and I look forward to keeping an eye on that game on tomorrow night.
What's the game on the other side of that?
Potosi and Cashton?
Yeah.
Maybe?
These Southwestern schools, I don't know a whole lot about them, right? But what I will say is these sectional semifinal games are generally the best games of the entire tournament, right? The sectional semifinals, usually it's the 1-2 or like the 1-3 or two of the best teams.
Yep. And from similar geographic regions, so where the basketball is played somewhat in the same style.
Yeah, sectional semifinal Thursday, usually the best games you get. Sectional final, again, you have two different geographies playing each other, and then a lot of times they're blowouts, right? Because you only get 1 day to prepare.
Yeah, very quick turnaround against a team you haven't seen all year.
Yeah, and when we were at Newman Catholic, we would have a plant in the other sectional semifinal filming it for us, right?
Good idea.
Who would get it to us, so we go off the floor, we go in the coach's office, and we're watching the game until midnight or 1 o'clock, right?
Well,
because you have to have a practice plan for the next day.
Essence,
But you still only get 1 day, and usually the better team kind of controls that game.
With that quick turnaround in particular,
But the sectional semifinal, you have a whole week to prepare.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I am, I guess, some sort of genius, Dan. It is Potosi and Cashton. That was a complete guess. Maybe because they're almost always there.
Yeah, it could be.
Maybe. Okay, and then our 7th game. Again, there are 17, to our knowledge, 17 games that are approved by the association to broadcast. There's always going to be some that are, what do you call it, on the black market or something?
Some parent
some on the
Facebook
dark
living.
web. Yeah. 7 of the 17 we own on Thursday night, and this is number 7, and this may be one that's going to go down in history. We've got so many good games on here. Matt and Elijah down in Milwaukee doing a bang-up job. St. Thomas More, Milwaukee Academy of Science. It's at Oak Creek. That's the least interesting part of it. But there are Division I basketball players all over the floor on Thursday night, and those two are going at it. It's going to be a game for the ages.
What division is this?
This is Division III.
Division III?
Yeah.
Man.
They're going bananas down there with D1 collegiate recruits all over the place.
St. Thomas More, really good.
Very good.
Very good.
Amari McContry, their leading scorer, has scored over 2,000 career points. He is supported, though, by everyone else on that team. Milwaukee Academy of Science, I don't have all the names memorized for the scientists, but they are very good. That could be the best game on the network all night.
Could be. I mean, at most athletic, I think, a given.
By far, by a mile. So all winners on Thursday move on to sectional Saturday. Well, they will punch their ticket to the 2024 WIA State Tournament. Losers are friends that we lose on Thursday. So we're going to lose 7 friends on Thursday.
We're going to lose Marathon or Auburndale, that's for sure.
They're both friends.
They really are.
Friends. Yeah, a lot of friends there.
I know that sectional finals at Everest.
Yep, true.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, I won't go through all those today.
Against Bonduel. Probably.
Well, here, tell you what, Dan. You know what? I do know some things.
Yeah,
Sectional
because-
sites:
yeah.
Stevens Point, DC Everest, Neilsville, La Crosse, Logan, Hortonville, and Brown Deer.
Who are you sending to La
Effort
Crosse
is-
Logan?
Well, that's going to be Kale. Kale is Mr. Columbus Catholic this year. He's
Okay.
enjoying it greatly. It's turned out it's a fantastic spot for him, and it's really worked out well. So
Well, I will say that Cale Jacoby did not pick Columbus Catholic to win the state championship in our picks.
you know, sometimes you
Reverse jinx, right?
Yeah, maybe reverse jinx, or I don't want to be a homer. I'm keeping it real. I pick Columbus Catholic.
I picked Columbus Catholic.
Yeah, Kale I think Kale is on the outside looking in our internal
True.
contest.
True.
He usually is, though. He usually is. All right, Dan, you ready?
Born ready.
Yeah, let's get down to it. It is time for what everybody tunes in for here on this show, and it is today's Mirwood Minute, sponsored by Mid-State Technical College. Take it away, Dan Ross.
Hold on.
Okay. So give him that big lead up, the big punch,
Yeah.
and
All right. Jason,
hi, it's me.
a week of heartbreak all across the area. A few still survive, looking for some hardware at the state level. Let's start with the girls in Division 4. The Phillips Loggers get sawed down by the Max,
Lost a friend.
McDonald Central, by 32.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Macs are really good.
Yeah, it's a really good Max team. They went on to win the sectional final by 20, right? In Division 5, Athens loses a tight one in Merrill to the Pittsville Panthers.
If I could,
Yeah.
thank you M&M Bakery and Yankee Construction.
Yeah,
I mean that. I'm sincere about that.
yeah.
Thank you for supporting our efforts with the Athens Blue Jays girls basketball team.
I got to read both of them twice.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, on Thursday, and like 12 Pittsville ones.
Yeah, sure. I read those. That's what caused all the food overflowing because of those Pittsville ads.
Yeah. The Assumption Royals beat Lords Academy on Thursday night, but fall to Albany Monticello in the sectional final, ending the Royals season for the second straight year at the sectional level.
Yep.
Good news, bad news for the Royals.
Okay.
They missed state, but they get to stay in Division 5 next year. If they would have gone,
It's a good point, isn't it? They would have
yeah,
went to Division 4.
they went to Division 4.
Had they won that game. So yeah, it's a mixed blessing, I suppose.
Yeah.
Mixed bag.
Yeah, I think they might have had to have won a game at state, but they probably would have, right? Albany just big comeback at the end.
Yep.
Like basketball happens.
Can I? I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
I always interrupt your.
No.
And I always regret it later. You know I'm a huge fan of the mascots, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm watching the end of that game, and then on the floor, did you see it?
Yeah.
So it's a co-op school.
Yeah.
So they've got 2 mascots.
They do.
Right? They had a horse. One of them is the Mustangs or something like that. So they got a horse out there who looks a little bit dangerously close to the Indianapolis Colts horse. Okay, but I love the mascots. I don't care
Yeah.
if you stole it right from whoever. They got the mascot. And then you had an Oompa Loompa. Now, I don't know. The other team on their own are the Comets. I'm not sure how you mascot a Comet. Maybe that was their best effort. But so they had a horse and an Oompa Loompa, and I thought it was great.
Yeah. You know, boys' side, Albany Monticello played in the first round.
Yeah, there's no co-op on the boys' side. Right. So the horse and the Comet were like this in
Yeah.
that game. Okay.
And
Sorry.
then they got blown out the second round. Yeah. So it's the second straight year that no Mirwood teams made the state tournament.
Which had become an oddity at that point, right? It was a
Yeah.
fairly constant for quite a while.
And here's the stat for you.
All right.
It's only the third time that teams haven't made it since 2009.
There you go. Yeah,
Right.
It was very odd for this
So
to happen.
15 years, only 3 times we haven't had a Mirwood team there
Yeah.
for the girls.
There you go.
Shout out to the Six Rivers East Conference.
Okay.
They have 2 D5 teams at state.
Wow. That's
Argyle
tough to do.
and Albany, they play for the third time at state.
That's tough to do because you got to be separated.
The line
by
has to be
geography,
right
but it's
between
gotta
them,
be
right?
there, right in your own conference. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah. On the boys' side, more heartbreak. Rib Lake falls to a pesky Owen-Withy team.
Owenethy, and they had to play that game on a neutral site, and I'm not sure why.
Well, small gym,
Well,
maybe?
very, but I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, there's a certain reason why you like your seed, and they were given the better seed and had to give up the gym. Not a fan.
Yeah, I mean, it is a really small gym, but so what?
That's your home gym advantage. That's why you play all year to get that regional final at your own place. So they had to play somewhere else. Congratulations to the Blackhawks.
Well, we saw last week that they put a whole bunch of kids on the stage at one of the gyms.
Columbus.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic too. Just an awesome look. I mean, the kids just romping around on that stage.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, they're stomping and it's loud.
Yeah,
and
that's great.
And Rib Lake lost by 2.
Just
right?
think, I think they win that game at their own gym. That's too bad.
Yeah. Both Owenethy,
Okay.
we say that because that's how it was announced on the WIA.
That's who the association entrusts the names to.
Yeah, Owen-Withy, boys and girls, both performed really well.
Yeah.
With not very high seeds, they both made runs.
Yeah.
The
Owenethy
sectionals, I
girls
think.
were in a sectional final. We had them
Yeah.
on Saturday. Beat by Clear Lake.
Yeah. In Division 4, 4 Mirwood teams participated in the regional finals. They all played each other. Marathon beat Stratford, and Auburndale beat Edgar. All playing for the third time.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. So the third meeting, Marathon Auburndale. Marathon won the first 2 games by 21, and it's not going to be 21 points tomorrow night. I can guarantee
You
it.
wouldn't figure in a game of that magnitude. You just wouldn't figure it.
Coach Weinfurter will throw a wrinkle at Marathon tomorrow night, no doubt.
Mentioned earlier on the show.
The winner will play Bonduel. Not like
It seems
like
likely.
wink wink. It's
It seems
going
the
to be
Bears are going to
Bonduel.
be in the game on Saturday.
I think they're playing the 6th seed, Oconto, whatever they are.
Seems like it.
Yeah, but that's going to be at Everest.
Okay. Yep. Sure is.
The computers are still doing well. All 16 state teams in Divisions 2-5, this is girls, were a top 2 seed in their brackets. Right? So Division 2, 3, 4, 5, all the teams are 1 or 2. On the boys' side, for some reason, there's a lot of 6 seeds that advance to sectionals. Like weird.
Well, I think of Nina, and I know this is not the Mirwood,
Yeah.
the Mirwood team, but I think of a team like Nina, who totally different team now. They had some injuries, and that affects your losses earlier in the year, but now you're rolling.
Yeah. And I think just athleticism on the boys' side, right? I don't think the gap is as big
Yeah, probably not.
in a lot of divisions.
Probably not.
Yeah. Mirwood Pride.
Still hasn't come back.
Yeah. Will we see you at the state tournament if Marathon or Auburndale make it down there?
Well, it's when they perked back up at state football, when Stratford and Edgar were there. All of a sudden, Mirwood Pride came back in like a storm, but then went away right after. Haven't heard from Mirwood Pride since the day after state football.
It's true. I'm not saying that
get it.
Mirwood Pride is the reason why Mirwood won 2 state
But
titles,
think about it.
but
Just
maybe.
Think about it.
But maybe.
You can't say it's not.
Yeah. Asking for a friend. Hopefully you're there. Speaking of friends, thanks for all the support given to Jason and myself on our weekly program in the Mirwood Minute, especially. It means a lot to have fans, and people have been reaching out saying, hey, we really like the Mirwood Minute. People are stalking me on Facebook, sending me messages. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's the best part of the show.
Yeah. The basketball portion of the Mirwood Minute is soon coming to a close. We're just running out of weeks.
Probably one more week of it.
Yeah. But more spring sports to come.
There are. I think yesterday, track practices began across the state for spring sports.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. More spring sports to come,
Track and field, sorry.
just like your next Mirwood Minute.
Okay, more to come. Way
Yeah.
to go, Dan. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, in all sincerity, I definitely appreciate the kind words.
Yeah.
And
Who would have known this is where this was going?
not me.
It wasn't the intent, really.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Not me.
We just wanted to say the names of the kids that are doing things. That was the whole idea. When you
It's-
came to me with the show, you said,
Yeah.
let's just say the names, give these kids some other recognition.
Well, nobody else is doing it, right? And we talk on the phone about this. You know, the newspapers, the sports pages are closing down all around us.
Left and right.
and love the local news, but if your team's on local news, you're on there for 20 seconds showing a basket early on in the game, right? Which is great to see. Like, they say some names and they have a couple of clips, but we're really missing an area to talk about high school sports, right? And I don't know what the numbers are. Like, I'm shocked anybody watches this, right? But I know people do, because I think in the last 2 weeks I've had maybe a dozen people reach out to me and say, hey, this is fantastic. You guys are doing a great job. And we love the Mirwood Minute, which is insane to me, honestly.
Yeah.
Brought to you by our good friends at Mid-State Technical College.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It is. And with that, we'll turn it back to Skeeter Notices here. So as we wrap up today's show, thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
We lost audio for about a minute, and I couldn't read my notes because the notification on my phone kept showing up. And so thank you for telling me.
We did talk about Merrill Wassa East. That's about
I
it.
think we got everything.
Yeah.
I think it was not out for very long. So Skeeter Notices Village Inn is where we are. It's our second time being here.
I'm excited.
Just as great as the last. It'll be just as great next time. But it is Lasagna Day here. And this might be the last one of the season.
Come down for lasagna.
Yeah. Well, we're going to eat it here in just a few minutes. And it's going to be really good. You get lasagna, you get coleslaw, you get some bread, and anything else you want too off the menu. Full menu, burgers and appetizers and all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, it's going to get busy in here, isn't it?
Well,
Real
it
quick.
is. It is. So we're going to get snapping here. The last thing, Dan, I saw today, so I try to mix in something maybe non-sports every now and then, is that today, for the first time in this calendar year, the sun sets after 6 p.m.
Love it.
How about that?
It's 7 o'clock on Sunday.
Really? Oh, that's right, because we changed our clocks. Well, that means just one thing to me, that the Masters is coming up soon.
A tradition unlike any other.
Hello, friends.
Jim Nance.
Yeah. If you get a chance, this is not for this show, but you go onto YouTube and look up Dan Patrick, Jim Nance impersonations. He had a Jim Nance Day a year or two ago, maybe longer than that. And so people sent in, they recorded video. They sent in videos of themselves reading Jim Nance style for the Masters. And he picked a champion at the end of it. So it's like an hour-long thing, but you got to watch it. It is so good.
You know, thinking about Jim Nance, he's always in the same jacket or a very similar color and style. Yeah. I heard that he's about done, though.
They may be calling you soon.
It won't be me.
It'll be somebody. Yeah, it'll be
Scott Van Pelt, maybe.
That'll be a sad day, though, because he
Yeah.
is, since I've paid attention to golf, it's been Jim Nance. Yeah, so.
Masters coming up.
Okay.
Mid-April.
Yep, that is coming up. For those that are so inclined, Big Ten women's basketball tournament, I think, starts tonight. And men next week.
Sold out, girl. The women's are sold out.
They're at the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota, probably all for number 22 in Iowa, black and gold, right? Sold out.
Yeah, there's a lot of controversy about her scoring record and like Pistol Pete and stuff. It's like, man, like just enjoy what we have.
I'm happy for her.
I am too.
I never saw Pete. That was before my time. There was no three-point line, and he played in like 100 less games or something. Now, who cares?
Yeah. I mean, he averaged like 45 a game.
She's
but like,
shooting the lights out.
It's a different
every
game.
time she goes on the floor, though.
Yeah.
How do you deny that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the internet, right? Like, just in general, the internet's become a toxic place, right?
Yeah, a lot of places are. Yeah.
And as coaches, you have to have the internet talk, social media talk with your kids, because you can get in a lot of trouble, right? It just feels like people on the internet used to wear jerseys, right? Whether it's politics or teams, you wear your jersey.
Yeah.
But now it seems like people paint their jerseys, right? Like it's so like hardcore built into it now, just hard coded into people, and it's. Yeah. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, well, they don't deviate from it.
No,
right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, they don't change. They don't change opinions. Enjoy the moment. Caitlin Clark's only here for another 2 weeks. Enjoy the moment.
Yep.
3 weeks maybe.
So there you go. If you're looking for sports to watch on a Wednesday, Dan and I are recommending the Big Ten women's basketball tournament.
The old 11-14 and 12-13 games.
Hey, who knows? Buzzer beater, perhaps.
Maybe
in the offing tonight with that. So, all right, there we go. Dan and I are going to go have some lasagna. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your week. Local listings on ZaleskiSports.com.